Hello, welcome to Mud, Soil and Tears. My name's Kerry and today I thought we'd have a little bit of a chat just about this channel, who I am and the direction in which I want to go. So I'm going to try and do a video going forward every twice a week. So I want to do one video, just what I've been doing, showing you what's going on at the allotment, showing you all the different things that are going on, what's happening, how my fruit and veg is growing, and all the mishaps and things that are going wrong. And then I thought I'd do one more video, probably on a Friday, hopefully, because I live a rocking life, maybe on a Friday evening when the weather gets nicer, down at the allotment, just really talking about life in general, any big disappointments that have happened, how things are going, if they're going in the direction that I want them to, and an update on how I think my journey to being able to feed my family is going. So I thought we'd do that. So I thought this would be the first Friday video. It's not light enough to do it in the evenings yet, so I thought we would do it now, and maybe talk about who I am and why I'm doing this, because I haven't really done that so far. So I was just planting some seeds, so I thought we could have a chat while I do it. So my whole journey with this really started about 5 years ago when I was on maternity leave with my middle daughter. I started thinking that there must be other ways to live than this life we were living. You know, we were living the normal standard life. We just bought a house, you know, with a car and a dog and 2 children, and everything was looking amazing. But I just didn't want that life anymore. All of a sudden, I just started thinking there must be more to it than this. There must be more to life than just this. Particularly when I had to send my oldest daughter to school, to nursery. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that I had to send her away from me. So anyway, I started looking on the internet and I came across people who were giving up their lives and they were going to live abroad in vans. They were traveling around Europe. So I started talking to my husband about it, and eventually came around to my way of thinking that it would be a really good idea to do this. So that's what we did. In 2018 we just sold our house, bought a motorhome and went off to travel Europe. And that sounds a lot more simple than it actually was. You know, really actually it was terrifying doing that and giving up absolutely everything we had. I remember the day that we left, the day that we moved out of our house. We went into a rented place till we sorted out our motorhome and everything, and I got there, we unpacked, and I was just sick. I physically vomited because it was all just too much. It was all so much, you know, going against everything that you're supposed to do. You know, none of our families were happy with us. Nobody wanted us to do that, but we did it anyway. So the plan was to go and find somewhere to live. We wanted to invest the money from the house into some land. You know, it's always been a dream of mine to have land, and an animal sanctuary is what I would absolutely love. Somewhere I could take in animals that need looking after and care for them and rehome them. It's what I've always wanted to do. So that's what we decided to do. So we set off and we travelled and we looked at all these amazing places, and then I got pregnant with my 3rd daughter. And then we had to make a decision. Did we carry on? There was a place, we just put an offer in on this amazing place in northern Spain, or did we come back? And in the end we came back, because the costs involved of living in this place and giving birth in Spain, because I would not after the birth of my first daughter, I won't give birth in a hospital ever again. So it would have had to been a private home birth, and the costs were just ridiculous. We couldn't have done both. So we came back anyway, and we had the baby, and then we decided to downsize the motorhome into a van and still go and look and see if we could find something. But anyway, the van that we changed it for was just very old and not really up to it, and in the end we had to come back because it broke down so many times. We were terrified to go anywhere in it. So we came back just at the end of 2019, and the plan was to stay here for a few years and just be able to raise enough money to maybe go further and look for a property further abroad. And then the last 2 years happened. So that's sort of put that plan to the sideline a little bit right now, and our priorities have changed a little bit. So the gardening and the wanting to grow for my family started from buying this land. We were going to have an animal sanctuary, and we were going to grow our own food, and we were going to live this amazing good life, and it was all going to be great. And now we're here in a suburban town in northern England, which isn't really where I wanted to be right now, but we need to make the best of it. And when all this started a couple of years ago, all the palaver of the past 2 years, I started thinking that I was very uncomfortable with the fact that we relied on people for so much. We relied on other people for our food. You know, at the beginning of all this, there was people that were queuing for food and at the supermarket and raiding the shelves and everything, and it really got me thinking that it's not a good idea to live the way we live. You know, I already kind of knew that anyway, but it just reaffirmed it to me that I needed to do something about this. I needed to be able to protect my family, and not just my family, you know, other people that might need help if it came to it. And I was unable to do that because we weren't in a position to do that. So I took on this allotment sort of June 2020, and started playing around with a few bits, but then life comes along, life gets in the way and things happen. And then as time's gone on, I've watched the whole situation throughout the world, and when I look at it now, the only thing I can see as a way forward is to be able to look after yourself, really. I don't think that the structures that we've relied on for so long are actually going to continue to serve us. When you look around the world at the things that are happening and the shortages that are happening, particularly in fertilizer as well. I don't know if anybody follows the Ice Age Farmer. He's really, really good with this sort of stuff, and he's really on the ball. And there's a lot of fertilizer shortages going on to do with different things, supply chain issues all around the world, and that's going to have a massive effect. At some point it is going to have an effect, and the trouble is that farmers have been growing for this mass production way of life, for people, that their land isn't suitable for not doing that. Their land is only suitable for fertilizer, otherwise a lot of it is dead soil and it needs fertilizing. So there's going to have to be a readjustment period. You know, there's a lot of people now going back to this way of living and this way of life, but there has to be a readjustment period, and I can only see that as being bumpy. And I think the only way forward is for people to be able to supply their own food, or at least some of their own food. You know, I live in northern England, and it's not going to be easy for me to supply my family for a year because of the climate and how we live in here. But I want to do the best I can, and I want to be able to help other people, and I want to help people in my community as well. If things do get rough for a while, I want to be able to help people and to show people how easy it is, and that they can do it too. They don't have to have all this polytunnel and big allotment. You know, you can grow some things in your back garden, but it's what do you grow? If you're in that sort of survival situation, what do you grow, and how do you do it, and how do you do it fast? So that's what I'm going to be concentrating on this year. So throughout this spring, summer season, into the autumn and winter, that's what I'm concentrating on, is survival gardening. Essentially, is what I'm growing needs to be enough to feed my family, and it needs to be able to provide for my family's needs, and it needs to be productive, essentially. So that's what I'm concentrating on. That's going to be the aim and the focus of what I'm doing on my videos. Now, you know, I've had this allotment since 2020, and we played around with stuff. So there's some things that I know I can grow, like tomatoes and things like that. I know I can grow. But there's other things that I can't. I have, like cauliflowers, broccolis, cabbages. I can't grow them. I haven't grown them. But this year, I'm going to grow them. Determined. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the main point of this channel, really, is to show my journey. I know it's not going to be easy. There's so much that I need to still learn and understand, and believe me, I am reading a lot of material at the moment. I'm reading a lot of books about survival gardening, homesteading, how I'm going to take this food that I'm producing fresh, but also maybe store some as well, and that sort of thing. Also looking into medicinal herbs and things like that. So there's going to be a lot going on over the next few months, and do you know what, I do feel a little bit nervous about it, stepping into this, because this needs to be worth it. And I think maybe that's what we'll do in the next Friday night chat. Maybe look at the expenses and how much it's going to cost and how much food I need to grow to cover it, because I was working it out last night, and actually, do you know, even to cover the allotment expenses, I need to be growing at least 12-15 pounds money cash worth of food a week to even cover just the allotment, never mind any other costs involved. And hopefully going forward with I'm gonna grow things, I'm hoping to save the seeds as well, so I don't have to buy seeds anymore. I'll be able to use my seeds going forward, which is what I want to do. So that's something else though, is a skill that I need to learn. I saved some seeds from last year, some calendula seeds that are really easy to save, and some peas I've got at home, and a few bits and bobs. But I need to learn how to save all of the different seeds, and it's it's going to be a lot. It's going to be busy and it's going to be crazy, but I'm determined that I am going to do this, and it's just going to be one less worry. So that's me, and that's my reason for going into this, to be able to provide my family's food. I know a lot of people who do this, they live in the countryside, they want they want to be fully self-sufficient, and that's not really who I am. I don't mind society, I like people, I like having different options of things to do when you want to do it, but I do think we also need to get back to our roots, and we need to start understanding the basics. We've come so far away from it as a society, of the basics, the fundamentals of life, how to just grow food to survive. A lot of people don't know. If you said to a lot of people, can you go and grow some potatoes, they wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't know where to start. They wouldn't have a clue, because we're not taught, we're not shown how to do it, and we're just reliant on somebody else. So not anymore. It's all changing. So that's me, that's who I am, that's what this channel's about. That's what's going to be the focus going forward. Is going to be more of a survival garden to feed my family through this coming spring, autumn, winter. That's the plan. So we'll see how we get on, and I will see you next week for my gardening update video. I'll see you soon. Bye.